Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Casper Network. Let's just dive in and let's start off with the overall price. So, price on the last couple days, even months. Let's go back to a 3 month span. So, honestly, the price has just been ranging. And as a Casper holder and having Casper as my number one holding, it really isn't that frustrating to see price action like this. In fact, I know that this is going to surprise a lot of people, but I actually welcome this sideways momentum because it allows me to continue to accumulate more and more Casper while I continue to stake Casper as well. This is one of those assets that I do believe a lot of people will be surprised about going forward on in time. I do think that the overall viewpoint right now on this market is just okay, well, where can I make the most amount of money in the shortest time frame possible? But I think that that idea, that narrative around crypto and in terms of this get rich quick scheme is ridiculous. I don't invest in Tesla on Monday expecting to be rich on Friday, right? So why would I assume that to be the same thing around these crypto projects? Same thing goes with Bitcoin too. I mean, like most of the people that invest into Bitcoin, going all the way back to 2010 to 2012 to 2014, etc. Like it took a while for them to get rich off of Bitcoin. And I do think that's going to be the same thing with any of these assets. I think that a lot of things are being built out. Casper is one of those projects that I feel so confident about simply because of the technology stack behind it, the team behind it, the building, the noise that they've been creating. I think that's only a matter of time until we do see more listings for Casper. I think that there's going to be a lot more announcements this year. I think that Casper 2.0 definitely is going to be a big game changer as well. And yeah, I think that price right now, I'm not really too focused on the price, but we definitely are waiting for a big break above 5.5 cents. That's the main target. We've been waiting for a big break above that level for a while, and I do think that eventually we will see it. But in the short term, I think that we need to just kind of stay focused on the bigger picture, which is what's really happening around Casper. What's the main focus point. So let's dive into that. Let's talk about a few things. So Paris Block Week. This is a pretty big conference that is happening, and it's actually very exciting to see a lot of these people around the Casper booth. I mean, this is huge. I think that this is great to see. And also I think that these events, I've talked about it many times in the past, these are great for building a strong community and as well as like creating a lot of noise for these projects. I know that there's other projects here as well. I think Hedera is actually here. The XRP Ledger is making a full force as well. Very exciting. And also, here's another image as well from the booth. Very exciting. I think that a lot of people are realizing the value creation behind Casper. We actually see DeFi Llama open here. I guess a lot of people are looking at TVL and stuff, but nonetheless, I think that this is great. I think that a lot of this hype, a lot of the building and things like that that have been happening in this year alone, and even going back to 2022. I think that it will all pay off in time. I think that the Casper team definitely is focused on the long-term view, very similar to myself. I don't really expect to get rich quick off of any of these assets. So when we take a look at Casper, I do think that this is going to be one of those assets that surprises a lot of people. Like I said, I think that as we focus on assets like ADA and HBAR, etc., like these are projects that took a long time to see a lot of network activity and growth. Like even Hedera just recently, going all the way back to 2021 to late 2022, like the summer of 2022 is when things changed for Hedera. So it did take a long time. But I do think that there's going to be very exciting things being built out on Casper. And one of the things I do want to make a quick note of is the Casper team's focus. Their main focus point is onboarding the next 100 million users. Now you might be thinking, well, all right, talk is cheap. What the hell is actually happening on Casper? Like, what are they doing to onboard this? Well, let's take a look at a few things. So one, the tokenized economy. So we've been talking about tokenization as a huge service point. And the reason why is because the upside potential on tokenization, the disruption of tokenization is so extremely large. We do see here, did you know that you can create, manage digital tokens with smart contracts to represent assets? The use of smart contracts and tokenization helps to increase efficiency and transparency, making it easier to track and transfer ownership. A tokenized economy is an economy in which digital assets are used to represent ownership of assets or to facilitate transactions. Tokenization involves the use of smart contracts to create and manage digital tokens. They might be thinking, okay, well, how is this even, tying it back to the 100 million users that will come to crypto? Well, it's through tokenization aspects. Like, for an example, I seen this post from the Casper Network account the other day, and I thought about it, and I've been thinking about it for quite some time. If you guys have been a long-term viewer of the channel, then you are probably all aware of tokenization within the real estate market. I do think that real estate is a huge area of opportunity for tokenization simply because it's a very illiquid asset class. There's also a huge demand for fractionalization. Fractionalized ownership is a huge area of opportunity for real estate because there's a lot of people that will love to invest and own 10%, for an example, of an apartment building, right? Imagine you have $100 million apartment complex, and you have 10 people lined up that want to invest $10 million to get 10% stake. You could do that through tokenization. Like, that's how big of a game changer this is, and it will generate a lot more liquidity as well as a lot more money to flow into real estate. And again, like, this is just one asset class. Like, there's so many other ones. So the door of opportunity is opening through smart contracts with tokenization. And we do see here that Ralph Kublai argues that for tokenized financial products to be possible, an open source standard defining how smart financial contracts can be built using algorithmic contract types unified standards, Actis, must be established. And if you actually read this, so this got posted on March 15th, and we do see tokenized mortgages can prevent another housing bubble crisis, says Casper executive. Now, I did include this in a video recently when I did talk about Casper, I'm pretty sure, but I do think that this should be in everyone's focus if you are in crypto, because I think that tokenization definitely gets thrown to the side, and I think that it has been thrown to the side since a lot of people have been mainly focused on, NFTs, and they think that NFTs and tokenization is essentially one big scam. But it's much larger than everyone lets on. And we do see down here that the 2008 financial crisis was a devastating time for many, as the collapse of the United States real estate market caused ripple effects impacting the employment and livelihoods of millions of people. And we do see, according to The Street, one of the chief causes of the crisis was the opaqueness of the mortgage industry. Mortgages were bundled into packages called the mortgage-backed securities, MBS, that could be bought and sold by banks and other investors who relied on rating agencies to determine how risky the securities were. And it just goes on and on about this. But down here, we do see, according to Ralph Kublai, a board member of the Casper Association, this fundamental problem that sparked the crisis still exists, but it can be fixed through blockchain technology. He hails from both the traditional finance sector and the crypto industry. He has previously worked in various mergers and acquisitions, sales, and executive management positions at Sika, Starmind International, BCM Europe, and other companies. In 2021, he joined the Casper Association Board, a nonprofit promoting the Casper blockchain network. Now, he did tell Cointelegraph that tokenization of mortgages could allow them to become observable, verifiable, and enforceable on a public blockchain, making the mortgage industry more transparent and helping to avoid to avoid the kind of surprises that arose during the 2008 crisis. Now, down here we have a quote, and it says, "You have a written contract that then gets translated into computer code that then runs in these core banking systems, and after about 40 years, when these core banking systems are still running, no one really remembers exactly what they programmed and how they programmed it. And that gives us the world that you saw in the Big Short film about the financial crisis." And yeah, I do think that, a 2008-like scenario is still brewing. I think that, the recent events around the banking sector is a warning sign of what's to come. And I think that we have the technology here to avoid a lot of the issues that are still a part of the traditional system. The matter still is questioned, though, on what are regulators waiting for? What are these government agencies waiting for? I think that mainly a lot of it is standardization. Yes, regulations are still in question, but again, regulators aren't really doing much. I just do think that, like, when we look at tokenization as a service, it is such a huge area of opportunity. And we even do see that Kublai agreed that tokenization can help revolutionize the economy, saying everything will be tokenized in the future. However, he claimed that developers need to be careful with how they tokenize mortgages in particular. One way to tokenize mortgages would be to create a PDF file of a term sheet then put a hash of that file into a token contract. But this would be a dumb token that isn't any better than what we already have in traditional finance. In his view, for tokenization to succeed, the tokens have to be smart, meaning the financial agreement has to be a machine readable and various parties involved must agree to the code itself. Otherwise, differences in interpretation and analysis will continue, causing future disruption in financial markets. Now, he does mention DeFi doesn't solve the problem. And then he does talk about digital term sheets down here, mainly addressing what caused the crisis. But then down here is the big focus point. And I actually have it screenshotted over here. And we do see open source standards for tokenization. Kublai argued that for these tokenized financial products to be possible, an open source standard must be built to define how smart financial contracts can be built. In his view, this has already been done with the creation of algorithmic contract types unifying standards Actis available on GitHub. He said Casper Labs has been working on Nucleus Finance, a project attempting to produce Actis compliant financial products. The team has already produced loans for 2 clients, one of which is reportedly a major leasing company, and other is one of the largest infrastructure providers in capital markets in Europe. However, he said that these products are not being used productively by the clients yet, but Nucleus is seeking to find new clients that can benefit from the technology. Then we do see down here other tokenized mortgage solutions. Kublai is not the only expert to tout tokenized mortgages as the solution to financial crisis. Security Token Advisors, head of research, they do talk about more of the sort of idea around like these tokenization services within blockchain as well. But I mainly wanted to focus on the Nucleus connections up here as well. But yeah, I do think that this is a huge area of focus. And again, some of those hints there around how they already have 2 major entities or clients that are utilizing these products, that's pretty big. And one of them is a major leasing company, and the other one is one of the largest infrastructure providers in capital markets in Europe. So this is huge. And they want to outsource this to new clients that could benefit from the technology greatly. And why is this a big focus? Well, global real estate is valued at $280.6 trillion. And most of this is coming from residential asset value. For example, 22% of the world's total residential asset value is in the North America region, despite the fact that only 6% of the population lives there. Europe contains 22% of residential assets by value, but only houses 10% of the population. But again, this is a huge market opportunity, $280.6 trillion. But I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about Actis, which is the overall standards around these smart contracts, if you will, algorithmic contract types. If you actually go over to the About section, we do see the background. Recent financial crises laid bare serious shortcomings in risk management and financial regulation. In retrospect, the lack of timely granular data reported in a data standard capable of supporting financial analysis contributed much to the crises. The Actis project aims to remedy the weaknesses by creating a global standard for the consistent representation of financial instruments. And we do see, if you actually scroll down here, we see the data standard, and then we also see the algorithmic standard. Again, these are the key ones to focus on in terms of the goal of tokenizing real estate. And if you scroll down to the board of governors, you can look at all of these individuals. These are some of the largest individuals out there around finance. If you actually look at their LinkedIn, it's very substantial. Then down here, you do see the contributors. And look at some of these names here. And then you do see Casper and Nucleus Finance. Now, mind you, as we look at this and you go to Nucleus Finance's website, which, by the way, this is one of those partnerships I think that, again, it's a very boring partnership. Not a lot of people are looking at it. When you actually look at this partnership and you scroll down to their foundation, you can see the first generation of blockchain finance solutions laid the groundwork, but they were unable to achieve true decentralization, security, and speed. Like the current finance industry, they were fundamentally complex and unsustainable. Unlike those previous editions, Nucleus Finance is built on Casper Network, the first truly enterprise-grade blockchain network. The result is a truly scalable, future-proof blockchain product that is environmentally sustainable and developer-friendly. However, Nucleus Finance is chain-agnostic and utilizes the chain most suited for the occasion. So yeah, I do think that Nucleus and Casper combined, though, will create a lot of opportunity here. You actually learn more about this partnership, or, well, this actually takes us just to Casper itself. Mainly, if you actually go over here, you can see the overall value behind this partnership. We do see VM Data and Service establishes another important element for digitization of security sector with Nucleus Finance as the first partner. And then it does go on to mention tokenization as a service as part of the joint project. But then also, we do see it as an initial proof of concept project where a classic bond and a structured product was successfully implemented based on data from VM Data and Service and systems from Nucleus Finance AG. In doing so, Nucleus Finance AG brings a new TaaS approach and allows on-chain and off-chain elements for cost-efficient use of blockchain technology. The first implementation is on the Casper blockchain, and if you actually see the details down here, they are talking about Actis. It's all through Actis. So we do see, based on algorithmic smart financial contracts, SFC, efficient, secure, and verifiable tokenization of the security is enabled. With the helps of these SFCs from Nucleus Finance AG, the digital representation of the security as an ownership title is ensured on the one hand. On the other hand, using the open source standard Actis, the secure and verifiable machine readable settlement of the securities in the lifecycle is ensured in a cost-efficient manner. Again, this is what we need to pay attention to, the connections here, because all of this is empowering this tokenized economy. And this tokenized economy, listen, like I said, real estate is just one market. This is $280.6 trillion. What about global debt? Global debt could be tokenized. Money itself can be tokenized. Stock markets can be tokenized. These are almost $100 trillion asset classes. Like, it's only a matter of time until we see the value being added to crypto through tokenized services. And I do think that these standards like Actis, empowered by Casper, for example, is a game changer. And again, look at the names tied to this. I mean, Casper is one of the only names here that are centered on blockchain technology. So when we take a look at this, like, in my opinion, there's no way Casper is not leading the way around some of these big innovations. And I think that combined with Nucleus, right? Nucleus is the big one. I really do think that everyone should be focused on Nucleus here, because Nucleus is a game changer. And combining Casper with Nucleus, this is a recipe for incredible opportunity around tokenization. We even do see here, like, their main idea around financial systems is every aspect of blockchain technology is optimized for the finance industry. It's efficient, immutable, standardized, standardized, tokenized, and most importantly, secure. So why are financial contracts still piles of paper written by lawyers? Because no one has yet bridged these contracts with blockchain technology. At Nucleus Finance, we have revolutionized the way financial contracts are created and executed. So this is going to be a game changer around a lot of these areas of opportunity. And I do believe that tokenized mortgages, tokenized real estate, this is the focus. This is going to be the biggest thing in the next couple years around blockchain technology. Why? Because this will impact millions and millions of people. Who knows? Maybe it will be the next 100 million individuals. But I do believe that the token economy, the tokenized economy itself, is going to grow rapidly over the next couple years, as we do see smart cities being a focus point, digitization being a focus point, tokenization being a focus point. It is only a matter of time. And just like Larry Fink from BlackRock said, tokenization as a service around stocks, I mean, he even said everything will be tokenized. Tokenization is a huge area of opportunity, and if you're not focused on it, I'm telling you guys, you're going to miss out on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Tokenization is going to be so big. And I do believe that networks like Casper are going to spearhead that next major innovation. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because of more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. So it's up to you all. Have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.